Good afternoon. It's been a good week and a half since I did my last video or did any footage for it. It's just been very, very stressful. We've had lots of stuff to do with selling our other property down in Devon. Well, we exchanged contracts yesterday, so it's on the up. It looks positive. We hope to complete tomorrow, and then 90% of all the hassles that we've had recently will be sorted. So yeah, fingers crossed. It's good that is finally at a point that we can start forgetting it and getting on with other things. Also, the weather has been appalling. We've had 3 or 4 days of really heavy rain. It's the wettest I've seen the garden. So not really been able to get on with anything the last 3 or 4 days. A little bit brighter today, and it's supposed to be a bit better tomorrow, which is Thursday, I think. Yeah, Thursday and Friday. So yeah, I'm going to start getting on with 1 or 2 things now. So I have started on making the second composting area. So I'll show you where it's going and what I've done so far. So it's this area. Since I cleared it out last time, I've put some more, well, I call it rabbit proofing, but it's also to make sure no rodents get it underneath the shed, certainly by this side. So all the way along that's been done. That fence is just standing there, that's not going to be there. I'm going to use that for something else. But yeah, it's been totally sort of, call it rabbit proofed. So this area is going to be nice and clean now. I've also repaired the gate. Nothing can get underneath now, and I had to move the bolts because the gate had dropped basically, and it wasn't shut in properly. So yeah, that's where it's going. This is what I've done so far. Now look, Jenny wants to come out. She's been in and out all day again. If she's in, she wants to be out. If she's out, she wants to be in. What this time? Are you coming? Come on in. No? No? You sure? Last chance. You coming? Come on in. No. So I've just basically cut 6 pieces out, slightly more than last time. There were 5 deep for the main one in the middle of in the lawn area. But this is just the back wall of it. We're going to do it slightly higher, but it's going to be more open. It's a bit tighter space, and so I don't want to have to be closing it off too much, and it might be a bit tight. So anyway, this is the back. 2 posts. I'm just going to slightly drop them into the ground just by about 10 centimetres. And then the back wall will go on, and then we'll work out some sort of side supports and go from there. So it's 4:30 now. Only went out for about an hour just to cut the first bits of those wood, and I managed to get on quite well. So this is the first compost area, which was finished 2 or 3 weeks ago, and as you can see, we've almost filled these already. This is still going to be shredded, so that'll go on to one of the other ones. But that is rotting away nicely. I've had a look at that, and that's going really good. That is a mix of stuff, and I did put a bit of Leylandii on the top of that just because we were a bit short on some of the green stuff. But yeah, these are coming in really handy, and we're filling them very, very quickly. So here we did have lots and lots of waste from the beech tree and the eucalyptus and the cordyline, and I've managed to get that all away now, all burnt or shredded and put into the compost. And so what I've been doing the last 3 hours, as I say, I only came out to do about an hour, but I was quite enjoying it, to be honest. So I've got it finished, which is good. That's another bed that Kirsten has cleared, and then we had a lot of potash from the incinerator, so that's been mixed in along the top. We're going to add some compost on top of that, and then that'll be ready to plant up. Whether we do anything before the winter or not, I'm not sure. That might be a spring job. Got rocket and onions growing well there. We didn't get any garlic, so I haven't got the garlic in yet to overwinter. And then on the main patch, that rocket is looking a bit tired, but we're still getting use out of it. The spinach never really did too much. It's got eaten by the slugs, so that hasn't been so successful. But the chard, we've had so much of that third row. It's been brilliant. Beetroots are in the next one. We've had a lot of the leaves from them to mix in with the chard and the bit of spinach we've got. And then the lettuce, that lettuce, red and green lettuce, has done really well. And then on the next row, all year round lettuce, we literally have had 2. So I don't know what's happened there. The radishes, they've been good. We don't use loads, I probably sowed too many, and some of those are split in now. Turnips got eaten by slugs again, I guess. So they are not doing too well. And then in this bed, that's one of the one of the mustards doing really well. We're adding that to salads. We've got some pak choi down the end, looking good. And then the onions are really coming up now on all 3 rows, the 2 whites and the reds. So that's good. I've got some stuff in the greenhouse. I'll show you that another day. I'll show you what I've finished off today then. Just don't put everything away, but that now is the second composting area. I decided to use that bit of picket fencing. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. But I've attached that, and that comes off nice and easy when I need to turn the compost, but it'll just keep everything in. It's very similar to the first compost area that I did in construction, but instead of 3 bays, I've just done 1 big bay. And that has got a decent capacity, and yeah, really pleased with that. So I thought that was going to be a job I'd do over the next 2 or 3 days, but anyway, I was just going to say, but it's been nice this afternoon, so yeah, got that finished. Oops. And then yeah, I need the entrance there clear, but just to this side, a little bed. We'll sow something there in the spring, maybe have something climbing up the side of it. So yeah, I am going to pack all the stuff away before it blows away. The wind's really getting up. Looks like there's going to be a storm. Good morning. It's Friday, beautiful day out there today, and everything's good. We completed on our property, which we've had loads of problems with over the last 6 months or so. So that's not just good news in as much as we have got no connections down in Devon now, which is great. Everything is up here in Lincolnshire, but also we can get on with a lot of things that we'd planned to do, but we weren't sure whether we could do them because we hadn't got the money to do it if the flat hadn't sold. So exciting sort of times now. We can buy 1 or 2 things that we wanted to buy, including perhaps another greenhouse, a polytunnel perhaps. We can go forward with our plans to really plant out well in the spring. We're getting a load of fruit bushes and apple tree, pear tree, cherry tree, and get on with quite a lot of other stuff. We're going to have that chimney repaired as well, actually taken out, that I showed you the drone footage a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it's everything to go ahead now. It's been very stressful. As I've said before, we've had, all in all, we had 2 properties to sell down in Devon. 3.5 years ago we decided. It took 3.5 years. We'd actually sold them 7 times between the 2 properties, and 5 times they fell through. So a lot of stress, and then we had to deal with everything in the last 6 months. We've had to deal with everything from sort of 250, 300 miles away, and the solicitors have been absolutely crap. We've had different solicitors on both properties, and they have been appalling. So I shall not be dealing with them ever again. Right, anyway, that's enough of all that. You won't ever hear me talking about solicitors again. We are going to get on with some jobs today. So, in here, I must stop saying bloody so all the time every time I start a clip. Right, in here we have a slight leak from the roof. Now it just goes along that sort of first 8 inches or so of the roof. Everything else is pretty good. And I got up there yesterday and the felting looks perfect, but he's tacked the felting down just for some reason with the wrong tacks just near this edge, and so it's made the felt crack around where he's tacked it, and I think that's where the water's getting through because it's only this little edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to scrape off this horrible, that's really wet, this mould, and then we will get up onto the roof. And I bought some, I don't know where it is, but I bought some sort of sealant. It's like tar type stuff. It's in here somewhere. That's it. Blackjack. So yeah, we're going to just dab these holes, well, the tacks, the top of the tacks, and see if that does the job. Welcome to my shed roof. So overall, it looks in pretty good nick. And what's happened is, just along this first row, it started to crack. I hadn't realised before, I just thought it was just the tacks, but what's happened, it's sort of like lifted and then creating holes like that. So I think I'm going to have to replace the whole of this first sort of, you know, half a metre or whatever. But I'm not doing that anytime soon. And the problem isn't massive. It's only just a tiny little bit of damp getting in. So what I'm going to do, well, what I've already started doing is I've put this Blackjack bitumen roof felt adhesive. I'm just dabbing it over the tacks. Hopefully that'll dry. It's not going to sort out the problem, but what it'll do, it'll just help make it slightly less of a problem for this winter. And then we'll work out how we're going to repair it long term in the spring, I think. I said that's probably the worst part there. But anyway, yeah, so we'll literally just this gloop, it's almost like tar, and might not help at all, but it won't do any harm if we do that over every tack. It's going to be slightly better than before. Right, that is all finished for what I'm doing today. It's by no means a finished job. I'm just basically trying to make it sort of stretch out, get through this winter, and then I'll work out exactly what I'm going to do. There was more cracking than I thought as I worked around it. So yeah, there is a bit of a problem. Certainly at the end, the wood underneath is a bit rotten. So yeah, we've got a bigger job to do than I thought, but I'm hoping it'll just be this first run here rather than the whole roof, because that doesn't seem to have any problems. But yeah, that'll do for the time being. Let's see if that improves it at all. Good morning. It's another beautiful day. It's a Saturday. Just got back from the car boot and bought myself a couple of treats. So we have got a couple of cyclamen to replace a couple of pots that didn't work out too well. We managed to remember to get some garlic because we are going to put some garlic to overwinter. It's shop bought, well not shop bought, it's bought direct from one of the farmers who sells at the car boot. And we're going to try them this year in these pots. So I've mixed in horticultural grit with some compost, and yeah, we're going to pop them in there and see how they go. And then, no, you're not going in, come on, this way, let's go in the garden. And then the other thing we bought for ourselves as a little treat this week is a couple of trees. So we're going to just about fit them in the car because we bought an awful lot of business stuff as well. But just over here we have a pear tree, which is one of those, a Williams pear, and is a ladybird, can you see him? Right, and a cherry, compact Stella sweet cherry with large dark red and black sweet and juicy fruits, self-fertile, excellent garden variety, upright grower, pick and use in late July and August. So we're going to get those in. We are going to put them near the apple tree that we planted about a month or so ago. So we now have the pear tree, the cherry tree and the apple tree. Still going to dig out more and more of this border to either incorporate these into the border or to be at the very, very front. And ideally we want, although we can't say it's an orchard, it's not big enough, but basically we want fruit trees to sort of line all this area here. We can only go so far because there's the septic tank there, so we don't want the roots going toward damaging that or causing problems with that. But that tends to be from the manhole cover there here. And I mean, they previously put that conifer there, which is coming out. So we can definitely get a few more fruit trees all around this area and build up a nice collection. And then the actual fruit bushes, which we started off about a month ago, pop these in. I've got a couple of additions to add today as well. We bought these from Partney Garden Centre yesterday, which is our favourite little garden centre. So I've got a yellow raspberry and either another blackcurrant or blackberry, blackberry, I can't remember which one, to go alongside that. We're going for lots of different varieties of fruit. We're not going to stick to one of anything, and we're just going to build up. Whenever we see something that we haven't got, we're going to add to it, and this whole area down here is going to be full of fruit bushes. If you watched my previous videos from the allotment down in Devon, we had a hell of a lot of raspberries, and then we really make the most of them. We used to be able to collect a punnet a day, basically. So if we can do that throughout the summer, that will be ideal. And then of course we've got the big old Bramley apple tree over there for our cooking apples. So I'll just go tidy up this section, and then we'll get the fruit bushes in. Go on. So just to finish off, we're just going to get rid of the old growth. So we'll cut that right out. Make sure we get that label back onto this, and then this will should all flower next year. It's all tidied up. And then give this a water, one-handed. Not for you, Jenny. What do you think? Happy? Yeah? Good. So now, again, we'll just water these in. So to get another one in a second, but that one and that one. Maybe good enough. The only other thing I wanted to do is the apple tree that we put in a while ago. Just needs a little bit of attention. That is a bit of dead there. Anything else? Right. So it's a bit straggly at the top. So it seems a bit harsh. I'm gonna lop it off about here. Less chance of it breaking in the wind, and it can put its energy to the lower branches now. So yeah, job well done. I'm just going to plant the cyclamen in these two pots that we've got, and one of the plants in them had died, this one, and then I've noticed that it hasn't really got a drainage hole, so it's kind of sealed up. So that's probably why it died. The other one was doing all right, so I'm going to give this a try. Might crack the whole thing, but let's see. It's as much as I dare risk, but at least if we put a little crock over that, it has got some drainage now. So yeah, they look nice in there. I popped that garlic into those beds, so we'll see what happens there. And then down here we've put the cyclamen. Give the wizard a bit of a water too, and that salvia. And picture the otter. That has been a really nice morning's work. I'm going to go in, have some lunch, have a cup of tea, maybe put my feet up for half an hour, and then if the weather stays the same, I'm going to get this grass cut. I only did it about 10 days ago, but this time of year you just want to get it done when you can on a dry day, because you never know when you might have 3-4 weeks of wet weather now. So there we go. The lawn has been cut. I mulch most of the time, but today I collected. It's getting to that time of year you don't really want stuff sat on the grass. So again, I've just gone to a decent cut, not scalped it at all, but it's that was a good cut. I think that looks good, and I still expect to be cutting the grass until, you know, maybe late November, but every couple of weeks now should suffice. It's really starting to take shape. We've got a lot of the stuff that we've done, a lot of the destructive stuff, took a lot of stuff out, and then we can start putting things back together next year exactly how we want it to. Do you want to play ball? Shall we go and get your ball? What do you reckon? Yeah? Come on then. Where is it? Oops. I don't want to do that. What about this? You want to play ball? Yeah? Right, hang on. You ready? Go! And again. Which one? That one? You can't have two. You can't have two. You can only have one. Only one. I'm having one. Right, Jen. Right, you ready? Watch it then. Now this way. This way. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Come on. Right, and go. Can I have that one? No? Where are you going? It's this way. Can't have two. That's it. It's Sunday morning, about 9:30. I've done a bit of work this morning. I'm on my own. Kirsten's had to pop over to look after her mum this weekend back in Nottingham. So did a few jobs yesterday afternoon. It's just now me and Jenny, and we're going to go and sort out a bit of the kitchen garden. I ordered some rhubarb for that far bed near the sort of compost food waste bins. So we need to dig that over. It's got a lot of roots in still. So we're going to do that first and then see what else we're going to get up to today. Right, so that's all dug over. There's some really big roots down there, right in the corner, some fennel roots, which you might have seen. Jenny, me and Jenny sorted, didn't we? Yeah, some big old roots down there. There was so much in here. There was rosemary and fennel and mint, so we are going to see something coming back, but we had to thoroughly dig that over, and that last sort of 20 minutes should sort it out. We have ordered some rhubarb. I've got 6 crowns coming on Wednesday, which will take up about a third of this bed. I'm not sure what else we'll do in this bed. We might put some more rhubarb because we use a hell of a lot of rhubarb, or we might then do something totally different with it. Not sure yet, but anyway, it's a nice start, and that'll be another bed in use by the end of this week. Over there, the one that I put potash in and Kirsten cleared, we'll give chard. I've got some more chard. I wouldn't mind having some more chard for the next couple of months. I think it's probably too late. If we get a frost in the next few days, few weeks, this will be just a waste. But I'm going to see what I've got in my seed collection and see if we can get anything for sort of to steam charred spinach, that sort of thing going, or is it too late? I think it's about October the 6th, so the jury is out. Let's have a look, see what we've got. I found some chard, so I'm going to actually grow it in this bed. A couple of rows of something that I'm not sure yet because I haven't checked what I actually planted here, but hasn't come up. So rather than go into the new bed, I just thought I'll give this a punt down here, see if we can get some chard here, and we'll work on that other bed. I still want to put some more compost and maybe leaf mulch into that one. This one's already been prepared and it's done really well with the rocket and the onions, so we will put this chard in here and see how that goes. I'm gonna put a few more seeds than I normally would in here because they could do with using up anyway. These are old seeds. I think I got them from a car boot, surprisingly enough, in the summer, so I don't know how long he had them for. Great. Just put the soil back on there, and that is another job done. So we're in greenhouse number 1 now, what we call Kirsten's greenhouse, mainly for her cuttings and where she's taken things up that are self-seeded in the gravel. A lot of lavender as well from all the lavenders that we've took up, so we can continue with them next year, but we're still unsure exactly what we're doing where the lavender used to be. But a lot of them looking really good. Some salvias there, they're looking good. Took some cuttings of roses and they look good as well. And there's my tomatoes. So we were so late moving in. We didn't move in until July, so it was end of July, August before we really started on the garden. And we had quite a few off these. These were just bought for £3 for the whole pot, or the whole tub from a car boot. And we've had 30, 40 tomatoes off here so far at least. So it's next year we'll do the tomatoes seriously and have lots of different varieties. But for this year at least we got some, which was nice. I'm just going to take off as many leaves as I can now because we just want these last few to ripen up. Leave a few on. And just that one. And that one. Right, hopefully those last few will ripen up if we have a little bit of sun this week. So, greenhouse number 2. I've done very little with this. I changed the soil was dry and dead as a bone there. So I added a hell of a lot of compost into there and leaf mulch, and it's quite healthy now. It's all had a good clean out, this one, and I just put in some seeds a few weeks ago, some random stuff that I had left over. Again, probably too late, but see what we can you know what happens over the next month or two. I can see some spring onions coming up quite nicely there, and some peas for the pea shoots. Initially we left the door open of this overnight, and mice obviously got in and nicked all the first sowing of peas apart from a couple. And yeah, so anyway, there are more peas under there, so we'll see if they come up or not. As I say, nothing's lost on here. It was old seed, and yeah, not an issue. We did some spider plant babies from some of the house plants we had in, and they're coming on nicely. I'll pot those up and take them into the house soon, but they're fine in here for a while. And we're not sure what we're going to do here. Probably grow bags, tomatoes there, and probably grow bags and peppers this side, and then decide what we're going to do with this next spring and summer. That bed that I protected with that chicken wire has definitely been the most successful so far. That mustard's come up really well, the pak choi has, and the onions are all doing really well there, much better than in the other beds. So what is it that just by doing that bit of protection has helped massively? So we may well do similar throughout. This cosmos has looked fantastic all summer since we've been here. Kirsten's prepped this one, took everything out, but she can't decide whether to leave the cosmos in for a few weeks. So yeah, it looks really, really good still, doesn't it? That one's still got some dahlias in, and obviously a little bit of verbena, but she's got an awful lot of stuff out of there as well. So yeah, we're really getting quite far into this situation where we have to clear a lot of the plants out to get it all set up to be a proper kitchen garden, growing vegetables and fruit in here for next year. Still not sure what we're going to do with this patch. As I've said before, it's got foundations in certain parts because it had a massive fish pond, but we might just keep it similar, but I might edge it with some sleepers to define exactly where we can and can't plant. Right, it's just started raining, so me and Jenny are going to go in and get a cup of tea. Do you fancy a cup of tea, Jen? Yeah. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. If you could subscribe, that would be brilliant. Really, really good. They are my subscription figures. They're going up gradually, but I could do with a few more. So anyway, thanks a lot. See you in about a week's time. Take care.